Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Monday, May 30th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a great couple of weeks. We have. It's been good. I did have every intention of recording last week, um, but we had a storm blow through and I woke up, allergies gone haywire, and mostly you would have listened to me coughing and sniffling and sneezing, and nobody wants that. Um, Wyatt is outside working on his car, so if you hear that noise, I apologize. He was just going to change the oil, but he's left and come back. So I don't know what's going on out there, but I do not dare ask. So that's one of those lessons you learn the hard way. Mind your own business unless they come to you. Dax and Addison are out on a daddy-daughter day, and then I guess Addison and Jacob are coming over here for dinner. I've been informed that I need to be making hamburgers for dinner, so I guess that's what we're doing. I am so opposed to going to the store. This is how bad it is, y'all. I have dough in my bread maker. I put it on the dough setting for hamburger buns because I don't want to go buy any. So I'm making my own. I've never tried hamburger buns before, so we'll see how this goes. Um, oh, and I totally forgot in the last video. I know I talked about the wedding and all of that. We still don't have pictures back yet. Um, y'all had to listen to me whine so much about the tooth, and then I didn't say anything about that the dentist got it fixed. It came in, he got it fixed, and that was all good. Everything worked out wonderfully. It's here. Um, I guess they got it on a Monday, and even though I had an appointment for Thursday, the lady at the front desk called and she's like, "We have something tomorrow morning if you want to come in, and that way it'll just be done and you don't have to worry." So I did. I went in early and everything fit just fine, but the dentist told me that um, he had a backup plan in case it didn't fit, in case it wasn't going to work, to do something temporary so that it was there for the pictures. So I couldn't ask for anything more than that. He was wonderful, um, and I was thrilled that it was in. And then after y'all listened to me whine, I didn't even give you the good side of the story. That's pathetic. I apologize. Um, anyway, because of the way I have things stacked up, I'm going to kind of just do things in order to get them out of the way. So it's not going to be, um, like all my cross stitching and then other stuff. We're going to have to throw things in here and there where they go. Anyway, I worked on Brookes Books. This is on my list of 20. I want to get this one done by the end of the year. And in order to do that, I have to do 1.5 blocks a month. So for May, I needed to finish block 16. I had half of block 15 done. So I had to do half of 15 and all of 16 in this month. I got this one done, as you can see. And then I got 16 done. And as you can see, I've already started on the next one. I packed this to take with me in the cabin. I took my Stitch Mania stuff and I packed this one to work on also because I needed to get the blocks done and I don't want to fall behind. So I work on it here and there. But I figured I could work on my Mania piece a little bit and then work on this one. And so we got there and I was working on this and I put in some of the brown and I didn't have that yellow, which is, as you can see, the majority of the giraffe. So I was like, curse words, curse words. And so I started the next block because I figured even if I could get, like half of this and half of this, that still counts as a whole block, right? Well, a couple of days later, it might have been the next morning or the day after that, I don't know. I was working on a different Stitch Mania piece, and I had apparently pulled everything in the little booklet, the floss for everything. And the piece I was working on didn't require this yellow color. And I was looking at the, I was looking at the legend to pick my next color and noticed that number on there, and I had it in the bag. So I was able to come back and get the giraffe done. So this is what I did while I thought I didn't have this one. So anyway, that puts me a little bit ahead on June. I'll take it. I need all the help I can get. So first I was really upset, and then I was really happy. Right? Story of my life. I worked on Wyatt's stocking, of course. Because it is on my list come hell or high water. I want to get this one finished this year. But then, you'd think I'd be better. Last week, I completely sucked at working on this. I think I actually only put in 2 days worth of stitches. But, here we are. Since last time, I have mostly come up here and working on the part with the village. This little darker area right here, that starts antlers. I think part of why I haven't wanted to work on this one is like in these buildings, you can see there's 3 stitches of one color or 1 stitch or whatever, and I just didn't want to do that. So I just kept not doing it, and finally last night I had a stern talking to myself and realized that you need to just do it. All of those little ones are going to have to be put in now or later. Get over yourself and just work on it. So this morning I did. I put in some extra stitches this morning trying to make up for it. So anyway. Okay, and I have another stack here of things that I've done in the past. Well, wait, let me do this first because I'll forget about this. This morning I finished this. It's just a wooden piece, Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I don't remember, from the unfinished wood department. And I Mod Podged fabric on it. I glued it down yesterday, and then this morning I cut all the excess fabric away. It stunk to high heaven out here yesterday with the smell of the Mod Podge and everything. I probably bought that piece of wood, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. I've had it so long I forgot why I bought it. So I don't know if I bought it for a different purpose, but that's good enough. I'm just saying. And I pulled out the box of Patriotic Decorations to put up in the house. The biggest key to that is I found the box of Patriotic Decorations. Apparently, last year I moved everything into a bigger box because I bought some more stuff last year and completely forgot about it. So I've been looking everywhere for the wrong box. So now I found the right one. I did this one a few years ago. It was a kit, and it came with this little charm. Apparently, whoever did it does a lot of these little kits. I've not found another one, but there are some. This is just some little fabric on the back, and then a dark red chenille trim. I wanted that because the red in the piece was darker. This one I did a few years back. I'm not terribly good at dating things. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I just really don't care. This was out of a book, like Cross Stitch Celebrations or something like that. And this was a much wider piece. This was just down the middle. But I liked the balloon, so I just did this part in the middle. As you can see, I finished it with, this is just one fabric folded over, some rickrack, ticking. I like ticking maybe better even than welcomes, so I do love me some ticking. And then this was cut out of one of those little dollar store flags, and I made a yo-yo out of it with 2 buttons in the middle. See, I told you we're doing this in order of getting things out of the way. This is embroidery piece, and this was years ago. I have no idea where I ordered this. Based on everything, it was a kit. These are just buttons. Now, I don't know, it's possible that I had all of this fabric in my stash, but I don't actually know. I just threw this on a little sofa table in our entrance. Here's the back fabric. Usually I spent 20 minutes getting cat hair off of all of these this morning. Most of the cat hair off, because if I lay it down, they like to sleep on it. This was just a real quick little, I think I had candles on it before, or, you know, like a long, skinny dough bowl kind of thing. But it's just simple fabrics, checkered back, nothing fancy. This one I stitched some years ago also. Uncle Sam, it was out of a cross stitch magazine. I have no idea what. This little puppy is full of color changes and fractional stitches, but it is mounted onto, this is just a piece of table runner from the Target dollar spot years ago. I mean, it resembles ticking, so of course, what I just say. And it's attached with, I stitched it on all the way around because I didn't want it to unravel too much, and then buttons holding it on. Little red star buttons. And lastly is pillow. It's just embroidery. As you can see, that one is from 2015. So this was a kit that I ordered off of Etsy. It came with the fabric and everything and the pattern. So, and my gosh, I don't know why I don't embroider more, because that was so fast. I mean, embroidery goes so much faster. And some of the people I follow on Instagram make it look like photographs. It's possible, but I know that part's not faster. I'm just outlining it, much faster. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Back to what I worked on. I think, well, not all of this. A bunch of this is going to be Stitch Mania. The remainder of my Stitch Mania. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am absolutely the worst at posting. I think I'm on day 10 or 11 of Stitch Mania. So maybe today I need to get in there and just slam it with the posts and get it done so that I can at least get all of the Mania posted before the end of May. You know, and okay, I think I did that one already. Okay, exactly. Okay, let's just move on. I guess I can look. I have them all written. I have my little calendar here that has it on there. If this one was a Mania, yes. Out of this book, holiday lineups, I'm doing the turkey and one of the grains and pumpkins. So here we are. I worked on this one while we were at the cabin. I think I'm missing the last color that goes in to the grain. And then, as you can see, I've started on the turkey. And I feel like I must be missing stuff because I'm going in a really odd way around the turkey. So it's all good. It's all good. This one was a Mania New Start. This was in a box of goodies that Sherry Smith had sent me. And like I told you before, we're going to see a lot of goodies that came from Sherry Smith. Of course, there were things I was buying at the same time. So even when that box came in, I kind of mixed them together because they were all from the same time. But she had sent this one, and I think this is the one I started. And I decided to start it on blue instead of the back. And I don't know what this count is, but I'm doing it 1/1. Now, I have told y'all before not to let me start things 1/1 on little tiny count fabrics. I don't know whose job it was to keep an eye on me and not let me do that, but look what you've done. Somebody was not paying attention and keeping me in line. So I started it with 2/2 and I didn't like it, and I can't even tell you why. So I restarted at 1/1, and here we are. So there's no telling, as I continue to work on it, you'll probably hear me complain a lot. I know better, and I did it anyway. This was another Mania. I started this last year, so this one was a continuation. And out of Christmas Casuals and Waste Canvas, this is another one that was in the box from Sherry Smith. See, common theme here. These were a whole bunch of things that had belonged to her mom, which I am quite honored to have them to work on. I'm doing this Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Again, I'm not doing it on clothes or anything. I'm just doing it. And obviously, here's where I am. I finished all the red in his jacket. That wasn't done. And came up here and worked in his beard's all done. So I'm pretty pleased with the amount of work that I got done. This is one of those things, like everything else. If I would sit down and go, I'm going to work on this one this week, that's it. That's all I'm going to work on this week. I could get so many things done, but if I didn't feel like working on it, then I wouldn't work on anything. I have to work with my brain. I have to trick myself into getting all this stuff worked on. Not really. I'm just that pathetic. When we were gone to the cabin, on Thursday we went thrifting. And I know I told y'all before that I have an eBay store that's mostly vintage stuff. There's some other things thrown in there, but I love to go shopping for vintage stuff, and I can't keep it all. So this gives me an excuse to go shopping, because then I, just sell it, and it's all good. But at some point while we were out shopping, Dax told me I had to quit shopping for myself, which I think is completely wrong. But anyway, I did buy some things for myself, and we'll look at those later. But on Wednesday, because the place we stay at is like 1.5 miles or something from Lost Maples State Park. And last year when we went to Lost Maples, and we hiked the trail on the east side of the park. And that trail has, like a grotto with the beautiful plants and the water, and it's all shaded when it's 100 degrees out. It's all, 80 degrees there, and very nice. And they have what they call Monkey Rock, which is really cool to look at, and these other things. But this time we decided, we've done the west hike, let's do the hike we've done the east, let's do the hike on the west side. So we did. I don't know whose idea it was for us to go hike, but it was a stupid effing idea. It was my idea. It was my idea. I'm the idiot. As I was complaining while we were hiking, Dax was like, then why did you book this? I said, because you let me forget how much I hated it last time. On the west side, on the trail on the west side, there's nothing cool to see. Nothing. It's awful. most of the hike is through the riverbed while the river's dry. So it's all rocks, and um, there is an additional trail when you get to the top um, that our dumbasses hiked too. So it was a 7.5 mile hike. I don't know how it could all be uphill. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding, because it wasn't. Downhill was treacherous, uphill was treacherous. It's very steep, and it's a bunch of the small rocks, like where if you step wrong, you start sliding. It was that way on the parts that were uphill, and it was that way on the parts that were downhill. And there's nothing nice to see. When you get to the very top and you're hiking on that trail, what you can see is the fence at the edge of the park. Yeah. We should have known fairly early on in the hike when the signs kept talking about it being primitive. And what they meant by primitive is they went in 10 years ago and cleared a trail, and that's it. That's what they've done. Dax carried a stick to clear out the spider webs that went all the way across the trail. It was awful. Before that, I was telling him as we were trying to find humanity again, find our way back to civilization, I said, I thought, oh, it would be so cool. We'll buy a book that has all the state parks and all of the trails to hike. And F that. That ain't happening. Dax doesn't even want to even see the sign for another state park right now. It was a good time, y'all. It was a good time. I hated myself for going hiking on Wednesday, but other than that, it was all good. Anyway, I didn't get as much stitching done on Wednesday. And Thursday was okay. And then Friday, every ounce of my body hurt. Everything hurt. It was awful. Okay, I worked on this one. It's just called Ukrainian Ornament. It was a free pattern from cross-stitch-patterns.eu. It's cross-stitch-patterns.eu. And I think that it's beautiful. On the pattern, all of this white background is stitched. In the world of Terran, that is not going to happen. I'm not stitching all of that. But, got it the wrong way. I really did get a lot done, y'all. Going into it, I had this and one of these, and then I think just this part right here. So I got all the rest of this black, this flower, and coming down here, that's where the page breaks right there. This is a multi-page pattern, which you wouldn't think. I didn't think so when I printed the pattern out. That's a lot of stitching. This is on a 22 count 1/1. So it really is a lot of stitching, even though it doesn't make a big difference. But I was happy with what I got done. I have never made it this far. This was my 3rd time starting this. So, like I said, I'm happy with that progress. I worked on the Spooky Welcome. This was also, I believe, that one was a Mania piece from years ago. Let me look and see, because I think this one, no, this was not a Mania piece. This was just, it came up in the, this was just look at the draw, because I draw for what I'm going to stitch each day. And I have another one of these pieces going on, and it never comes up in the draw. Isn't that weird? Anyway, once again, look at this. I am playing Fabric Chicken. This, I think, is the outer edge of my stitching. Guys, who keeps drunk measuring my fabric? That's what I want to know. You know, I think that I'm looking at the size of the stitched area, and I'm not taking seriously enough, thinking through enough of how much I need to add extra. So anyway, here's where we are. This time, I believe I finished the E and put in this right up here. This is fencing. Right up here, a pumpkin. There's a jack-o'-lantern that sits up there. As you can see, we're right over here. So we've got these 3 fence posts and then the one line of the jack-o'-lantern down there. So hopefully I've done fairly well at centering this, and when I get over to the other side, I'll have at least that much room. This one was a Mania start, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Fancy that. This cute little ghost. It says Boo. Yep, that's the name. Fancy that. Boo. And I started it on, this is a 14 count. It's a Weigart Turbulence, I think is what the name says. I think Colbin sent this to me. I'm pretty sure that's where this came from. But it's a gorgeous piece of fabric. So I fussy started where I want this. It will go up on this side of the fabric. I think it'll come up to about here. I mean,